Hi and welcome. Today we're going to challenge our balance and we're going to challenge our strengths because they are always intertwined. Balance or challenging your balance builds strength, and it builds this wonderful deeper strength. It's not these outer big muscles. It is the deeper muscles that will keep you moving and jumping around and dancing when you're 80 and 90 and 100 years old. So we're going to start seated. Come to a comfortable seat. Just focus your breath. Start breathing through your nose. Remember to let go of your belly, get nice and soft. So deep, slow breathing. With hands on your knees, start circling your torso. Get that movement coming into your spine. So make sure you make the movement big and weird. So you start moving your spine in all kinds of directions. And change direction, go the other way. And come to center. Make your way onto all four. And just turn your hands around so your fingertips are pointing towards your legs and lean back. Get a nice little stretch going through your forearms into your palms. And come back to center. Turn your hands around and lift your palms to that first row of knuckles and lower back down and lift and lower and lift and lower and lift and lower. Stop moving into your cat-cow. You're just going with your own breath. Again, it's all about just getting that movement into your body, waking the body up. You're moving with your breath, nice and slow, adding whatever you need to add. So remember, it doesn't just have to be this strict cat-cow movement. Add some other stuff. Just move with your intuition. And tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back. Start rolling forward. As you come into a plank, lower your hips, open up your chest, and roll back. Come all the way back. Again, bend your knees, and again, you're gonna roll forward. Lower your hips, open up your chest. Roll back. And walk it out. Find that first down dog. Find out, how does this down dog look today? So you might be someone who normally have your heels on the mat, and today might not be working, and that's okay. It's all good. So just go with what feels right and lift your sit bones up and back so you get a little bit of extra length going through your spine. And then come into a plank pose. And you're going to lower down into a forearm plank. Make sure you're lifting up in between your shoulder blades. I often see that you're just kind of hanging out in your shoulders here. Lift up so your upper spine or your upper back is a little bit rounded. And then squeeze your butt, because this is also something I see all the time. Just because you're cheating, really. So squeeze the butt, belly button moves towards the spine, lift up in between your shoulder blades, and you notice that you're working a lot harder, but that's what we're here for, so why not get the max out of the pose? And hold it, just going to stay here for the next 10 minutes. I'm joking. I would never do that to you. All right, come onto your right forearm. Make sure you're not collapsing into that forearm, so you're lifting up. Hands, or you can do whatever you want with this left hand, but hand to hip or up or whatever's working for you. And then lower the hip down and up. And we're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Other side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to your forearm plank. Come back to plank pose. And again, your plank pose is just like your forearm plank. You're lifting up in between your shoulder blades. Squeeze your butt, belly button to the front of the spine. Maybe get some external rotation in your arms, and that means the tip of your elbows goes back. Come all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, cobra. And you're going to take a few of these. You're just going to move with your own breath. Make sure those shoulders are sliding down your back, shoulders away from your ears. That feels good here. So it might just be a little baby cobra today, that's okay. Next time you come down, tuck your toes, lift up into your plank pose, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step forward, come into your lunge. And you're going to lower that back knee almost down to touch the ground, and you're going to lift back up. And lower, and lift, and lower, and lift. And then you're going to lower the knee all the way down onto the mat, and you're going to lift the front foot. And yeah, it's wobbly, it's funky. Don't take it too seriously. Have a little bit of fun with it. You're going to be all over the place. That's okay. Try and keep a steady nasal breath going. So the breath will will help with your balance. You're going to find your drishti. So look at something in the ground in front of you that's not moving. That helps with the balance too. If you're like, I got this, Nina, I'm amazing at this. Well, maybe close your eyes. So you want to challenge yourself to where you are wobbling all over the place. And lower that foot down. Straighten the front leg. Come into a half split. Make sure you're flexing that front foot. If you need to put a little bit of bend in your front knee, you've got tight hamstrings, that's all good. Lengthen your spine. Bend the front knee, come into a lizard pose. And you just get to say hi to your hips here. And step back to plank pose. Vinyasa. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Step forward, come into lunge. And again, you're going to lower the knee down and up, down and up, down and up. And lower it all the way down. Lift that front foot. Again, you're going to be wobbly, wobbly, or wobbly, and it's all good fun. So don't get frustrated about this. Understand that this is what we're trying to do. This is the purpose of it. The purpose is losing your balance, wobbling all over the place. So I think often we get so attached to doing everything so perfectly. And it just has nothing to do with perfection. This has something to do with we are working our body. And we are working our body in weird ways that we don't normally do, because that is what is going to make us stronger and more balanced. Lower the foot down, straighten that front leg, and again, flex the foot, pull that left thigh bone into your hip socket, lengthen the spine, get a nice little stretch into your hamstrings. And bend the front knee, come into your lizard pose. And step back to plank pose, Vinyasa. Come all the way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up, step forward, come into a warrior one. Keep that back leg nice and active and strong. So you're trying to push that back foot into the mat, making a footprint in the floor. And then step into a warrior three. Hands to your heart. Make sure that back leg is lifting itself. So hamstring, glute. Bend the back knee. Shiva squat. Take that back knee to the back of the front knee and lift back up. And Shiva squat. And lift up. Shiva squat. Lift up. And then come into a one-legged chair. And again, challenge your balance, maybe sitting down a little lower than you normally do. And then lift up. You're going to put a little bend in your standing knee. You're going to take your right hand down to the ground or maybe onto a block and open up into a half moon. Remember, this is a Bob Fosse poses, jazz hands, jazz toes. Everything is extending and working. Lengthen that right side of your rib cage. And then with as much control and grace as you can muster today, step back into a warrior two. Again, strong legs, actively pressing the feet into the mat. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Keep pressing into your back foot. So that back leg is still nice and strong. You might even want to just kind of give yourself a little poke here. Is it on? Yes, it is. Look down. Left hand comes to the mat. Move your weight into that left hand. And come into a side plank. Again, make sure you're not dumping into that shoulder, using your whole body to lift. Come to plank pose, Vinyasa. We meet in down dog. And remind yourself to still breathe through the nose, even though we're moving pretty dynamically today. We keep that slow nasal breath. So if your instinct is telling you I need to breathe through my mouth, can you override that? Can you keep breathing through the nose? Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the body to get used to that. Inhale, lift your left leg up, step forward, come into your warrior one. And strong back leg, warrior three. Bend that back knee, Shiva squat. And lift back up, Shiva squat. And lift, one more, Shiva squat. And lift, one-legged chair. And again, maybe sit down a little bit lower than you normally do. Get a bit of extra hip opening in. And again, you challenge that balance. Come back up, a little bit of bend in that standing leg. Take your left hand down to the mat. Open up into your half moon. Stacking your hips. Reaching through your toes. And slowly step back to your warrior two. Keep those feet nice and active. Again, maybe just tap your legs. Ooh, that hamstring wasn't on. That's the one that always gets me. This hamstring, my left hamstring never goes on. I always have to check. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Keep pressing into that back foot. Keep lengthening through your body. And take your hand down to the mat. Come into side plank. Again, make sure you're not collapsing into this right shoulder. You're lifting up. Your whole body is working. And come to plank pose, Vinyasa. And come into plank pose. Lower down into a Sphinx pose. So forearms down, make sure your elbows are either stacked under the shoulders or a little forward. What I don't want is these elbows back and you're just sitting like this. This is not a Sphinx pose. This is just you on your belly in a weird pose. Forearms out. Let those shoulder blades slide down your back. Shoulders away from your ears, and see if you can find some space in your front chest. So imagine your collarbones moving away from each other. And if you have a very mobile spine and you're feeling a little bit of compression in that lower back, just put a bit of engagement into your glutes. You can stay right here, or you can press into your hands, lift your forearms off the mat, come into seal pose. Those shoulders, they're still not your earrings. And come back down. Bend your knees, grab your ankles. Lift up into a bow pose. Lift your chest, lift your legs, press your ankles into your hands. Still breathing, lifting, lifting, lifting. And release. Lift them into all four. Take a couple of little cat-cows, just neutralizing. And cross your shins, walk back, come to seated. I want you to bend your left leg, take the foot to the inside of your thigh. Inhale, reach your arms up, turn your torso so it's right over that right leg, and exhale, come into a fold. And it's your version of a fold. If you're super tight, you might be up here. This is a great place to be. So it's wherever you feel the stretch. And remember, in these passive poses, we're not pushing anything. We have sensation. We don't move into a place of pain. That's not going to serve us well. It's not going to build our flexibility. So find that little golden middle where you feel the sensation, you're stretching the muscle, but you are not moving into a place of pain. You might feel that your body slowly starts to release, especially if you take the time to focus on your breath, slow everything down. Might help to touch the leg a little, touch the hamstring. Touch is a tool we have to make our body feel safe. My dog in the background making weird noises, if you can hear something strange. And come back up. Make your way over to the other side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And think length before depth. So as you inhale, can you lengthen the spine just a little bit? Come back up. Make your way all the way down onto your back. Hug your knees to your chest. And arms out to the side. Let your legs come over to one side. Recline, twist. Come back to center. Other side. And come back to center. And release. Find your Shavasana, lie down, close your eyes, relax your body, relax your breath. As always, you're going to stay here as long as you need, which is probably longer than you think you need. So just give yourself the luxury of just enjoying the stillness for a little longer than you think you can justify. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.